This video's made for adult collectors. Whoa. This video's made for adult collectors because apparently I can't speak. Wait, that's the wrong. There we go. He landed on the floor and started coming apart. So there has been Kingdom, Generation Selects, Toy, a HasLab Unicron Selects add-on, Legacy, and now this. 86 Galvatron. Not much has changed here, just the colors honestly, and like, to some people that's enough to warrant getting this again, but to most, do you really need it? Well, I have two reasons for wanting this. One, to collect every Leader Class toy from Studio Series, and two, I don't have a G1 Galvatron. This is Studio Series 86 Leader Class Galvatron, a redeco of a toy that's been out for a very long time. This release is so interestingly close to the others. I feel like if they were gonna do this mold, maybe do it in like a couple years from now, but it's here now. And I like it a lot. The sculpt work is very nice. The details in the gray are very nicely defined from most angles. Sometimes it can be a bit mushy, but for the most part, it's fine. And this shade of purple is so damn good. It looks so lush and is very clean. In certain lightings, it actually looks shiny, but there's not any metallic in it as far as I can tell. The solid orange cannon, my mom looked at it and thought it looked like a Bic pen, which is really funny, but I prefer the solid cannon. Though the cannon itself can be a bit loose on this arm, it sits fine in the other one, but on this one, it just wants to like fall out every time I mess with it. I can thicken it, it's just weird. The little bits of red on the torso and the knees add a great bit of punch to this already really cool deco, and he comes with the same stuff as the Kingdom version. Ships that are also guns, chain with a matrix. Actually, the chain with the matrix is a really cool thing, and it fits most figures, and I think it works really well there. I love how clean this figure is from the back, but the arms. The kibble here doesn't like to stay in place, and I find it gets in the way when it comes to messing with the figure. They can peg into the pin ports on the back of the arms, but that negates the bicep swivel. They're very weird. Head sculpt is fantastic. The face sculpt is on point, and the red piercing eyes, though I really wish the new 86 one came with a different facial expression to be like crazy or something. That would have been cool. Still not a big fan of the hands because it looks like the middle finger is just sticking out a bit too far. And he looks great next to Rodimus. Oh, hell yeah. Posing's great too. So this figure has quite the amount of articulation, which you'd hope for the price you pay for this thing. It feels really solid, and all of the joints feel solid. I'm actually going to remove this because it is kind of loose and it's going to bother me. But yeah, every joint on this thing is extremely solid. So the head is on a ball joint. You get a little bit of nice tilt, a little bit of up, a little bit of down. You get full rotation. The ball joint does feel a tiny bit gummy to me, though, on this copy, because, like, Straxus doesn't feel like that. But here it does. I don't know if it's just what the material the head's made out of, because I know the horns are palm. I can feel that. These shoulders, they can do a full 360 degrees. They can go out all the way. Whoop, you have a bicep rotation, though this does bump into the back here when you use it. So you pretty much only get that far out unless you like manipulate this in such a way to get it out of the way to accommodate it. It's a bit annoying, like I said. Double jointed elbows, wrist rotation. You do have a waist joint, and these things being on hinges is such a godsend for the waist joint, because if they were regular hip skirts, this would bump into this and you'd be screwed. But because they move out of the way this way, oops, don't unpeg that, you can rotate the waist. That's as far as the waist goes, but that's as far as I'd want it to go. And then the hip skirt can just cover it up, which is really cool. This flap also moves forward. The hips can go forward that far. They can go back that far. They can go in and out. You have a thigh rotation, which is completely enclosed. I love that. A single jointed knee that bends just a touch under 90 degrees. And then you have an ankle tilt, which if you unpeg this right here, you can get even more of an ankle tilt, but then it starts exposing like shin details and stuff. But it's still cool. I really like this thing. Posing it is super fun. It's just these little back arm bits that bother me. So yeah, I really like this robot mode. It feels great, it looks great. I have a couple of gripes with it, but they're outweighed by the massive positives. Now the transformation of this thing is kind of similar to the original toy, where everything just sort of ends up, but getting there is a lot different, and I like that. It feels a lot like a modern update to a G1 transformation, more so than some other figures, which are just replications. But anyways, you fold the fists in, you fold up the arms, and they will peg into place. Then you bring these down, and now I never noticed this. I've had the Galvatron version of this mold before, and I never knew this. These actually clip in. I didn't know that there's like a little tab right here that clips into this, and it like locks it into place. I didn't know that. And that was a big shock to me when I got this and it went click. And I went, huh? What? Okay. So they have dedicated angles. I didn't know that at all. I'm going to bring the hip skirts forward. We're going to fold up the heels, bring these sections out and just flip them around like that. Then rotate the legs. Going to bring this section back. Notice how this doesn't fall off. Come on, Straxus, it falls off. You bring this out. Then we're going to take the arms and just rip them out. Now this part's a little weird. I don't remember this on my original Galvatron toy, but I'm assuming it's the same because I don't think the head's actually changed. But you open this section up and then you bring this down. And then you got to push the head in. But this horn bumps into the plastic here and makes that noise. Now, I understand that the horn is made out of a different material to withstand that, but I feel like the horn should have been a tiny bit shorter, or there should have been a slot in there for the horn to sit in, because I don't like that. It doesn't fill me with much confidence. Then you fold this down, you close this entire section up, then you bring this up, and while doing so, you bring the legs back and this panel up. A lot of things have to go up while you're doing this. Fold that forward, peg the legs together, clip it to the back, bring the arms down. They are going to peg into the chest. Peg that in on both sides. Peg these sections in here to latch it all into place. I like that. It feels very reinforced, especially considering on my copy, these bits don't like staying tabbed in super well. This wasn't a problem on my original or on my Straxus, so this might just be a mold degradation thing. Then you bring this entire assembly down, fold down this piece here, and stand them up. Take the cannon, split it in half, plug the front in there. I plug the back of it into here. And if you want to, these can clip on to the sides here, and then the matrix can slide over the cannon and then peg right into there. And there you go. That's Galvatron in his tank turret thing, artillery unit mode, whatever.
Yeah, the cannon mode is great. I love the new, more matte cannon. It fits this deco a lot more to me. And I love how the color layout is. Shame it's a bit awkward to hold as a gun, but as a cannon, I mean, it's fire. Get it? Fire, because you fire cannons. I'm hilarious. I dig this a lot, and this deco of Galvatron is my favorite of the ones they've put out. I still like Straxus a little bit more for this mold, but this as Galvatron is fantastic. But is it good enough to get it again if you already have one of the others? I mean, this has nicer colors in my opinion, and it has the fixed shoulders, but I don't think that's enough difference to warrant getting it again unless you really want these colors. People on the fence probably aren't going to be swayed enough, but if you don't have a Galvatron, then I think this is a great pickup. That's like the biggest pull I can see to this, is if you don't already have this toy. Because if you already have this toy, there isn't really much of an incentive here to want to pick this up again. If it came with something different or a new head or maybe some new parts, I think it would have been more of a worthy option to pick up if you already have one. But like as it stands now, it's not that much different. But that's been my look at Studio Series 86 Galvatron. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.